We're back! Ole. Hello, muchachos. Anywho, we're back. Hi, my name is David. I like transmissions. Sorry guys, Caleb's over there making terrible faces, and this is gonna be a hard video to make, but we're in this together and we're gonna have a great time. Today on the bench, we have a ZF5 out of a 97 Ford F350 tow truck edition. The current problem with this ZF is that no matter what gear you put it in, it's only in one gear. Hold on, no, that's the way it's supposed to be. It's in two gears when you put it in one gear because it's stuck in one gear all the time.
I'm following.
You're following?
Yeah.
So right now, this transmission only has fourth gear. So no matter where you put the shifter, truck won't move, but if you put it in fourth gear, it'll take off. So logic would say that the cluster shaft is damaged, but I know because I already looked through the little window of opportunity here, and I'm gonna show you the same window, that the cluster shaft is all there and it's not broke off like we typically see in the ZF family. So what I think has happened is that the customer ran this transmission out of fluid and it has welded the input shaft to the output shaft. Following with me still?
I'm following.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this thing apart. We're going to get down to the input shaft and we're going to split it away from the cluster shaft and we're going to see if we can spin the input shaft independent of the cluster shaft. So in order to do that, we are going to remove the shifter tower. It is held down by 8 13mm bolts. We are going to move the detent shifter cups out of the way. These are essentially like little bitty freeze plugs. We're gonna use a flathead screwdriver. We're gonna pry those guys out. We're gonna get the springs out and little detent cup plugs. We're gonna get the shifter tower off. And then we're gonna take all the bolts out back here, including the 2 Allen head bolts on the side. We're going to remove this bolt. And then we're going to take the 2 case halves and we're gonna split them apart. So without any more talking about ZFs and their wonderful problems, we're gonna take it apart.
You don't hear that thing bounce off the bottom, you got a problem. 1.170.
Just blast all 4 bolts out. You can take a vacuum tester and test each valve. It's the lip seal off the side of it and destroys the piston. Normally I would use air tools, but I have a Milwaukee tool handy, so that's what I'm gonna use today. In the event that anybody wants to know why we're not using air, it's because this was here and I wanted to use it. So take out the shifter tower bolts. Yay! They're all gross. You can use 2 different methods here. Option A is to smack this with a hammer. Option B would be grab a soft face dead blow hammer, which is probably the smart thing to do, but I've never claimed to be smart, so I'm gonna hit it with a hammer. Usually works good for me. Going to remove the interlock spring and plate. If you guys want to see how that was supposed to be in there, it's supposed to sit in there just like so, and it moves over just like this. But we don't need that right now, so we're gonna get it out of our way. My runny nose. It's been a killer today. We're gonna take a flathead screwdriver. We're gonna tap inward like that while prying down. Once you get to this point, you gotta be really careful. When this cut plug pops out, if it is under tension, that spring will fly to the ceiling. So I like to put a hand over the top of it and then rock the screwdriver down until it pops up, and then I remove the spring out of position. These are one-time use. Once you take these out, throw them in the trash can. You do not reuse these plugs, ever. Everybody got that? No plugs, don't reuse them. No buenas, not good, el bado, however you want to say it. Get it to lift. Oh no, I didn't get it to lift very far. Come on. Just like so. Spring. Trash. And it's good. Sorry. You gotta celebrate the little things in life. Thought I turned that off. We'll answer it in a minute. Come on. Once in a while you get a good and stuck one. Like this one. And if we get a stuck one, there's a second method. Cape chisel, drive one side down. I don't like to do them that way, but sometimes you got to. And it's good! I'm a winner today. It's alright, you guys suck, I know. I don't mind. We'll still play with transmission. There's a cup plug down inside of here, if I can get this one to pull out. They typically won't come all the way out, but they will get locked in the upward position when you lift them up. See a little cup plug? See? Ooh. Right there. You don't see it, do you?
It's too dark.
Yeah, you're too dark. Yeah, what now? Okay. Dun da da, dun da da. Now we must remove all the 13mm bolts. Gonna have to get some wrenches. Get my sniffer to work. My sniffer is not happy today. I'm okay though. Take the transmission mount off. The R&R guy didn't finish doing his job. Not cool. Not cool at all. Bolts. Yahtzee. Oh, almost forgot one. And now we gotta get that one out of there. I don't know if my retreat will fit in there or not, but we're gonna try it. Oh yeah, look at that. It's good. It's good. Just like butter. It comes out. And now we must remove that Allen hold. I should have an Allen wrench that fits that up here, but I may not. I may have to go on an adventure to find me a wrench. Guys, we're gonna take a quick 2-minute recess and locate our Allen wrenches. I don't know where they're at. All right. This is a 6mm, well, this is a set of Allen wrenches. This is a 6mm Allen wrench that we are going to use to remove said bolt. Yeah, just like so. Give her the spinny spins and take the bolt. That washer may not seem very important, but it's actually a gasket as well as a washer. Notice the black on the inside and silver on the outside. It's because that's a rubberized washer, and it's to keep the fluid from leaking out around this bolt. If you do not have said washer, I have seen guys use silicone in place of a rubber washer. which if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. But it should have a rubber washer on it. Now we are going to.
You gotta get the other one?
No, leave that bolt there. Don't touch my bolt.
Okay.
Now we got to break the seal. We got to get the two halves to go like that. It's probably going to sound more like a hammer hitting metal, but that's what we're going for.
Okay.
Lay it back down. Oh man, these things are not light. Pull it forward. And we're gonna give her the tappa-roos. I like to find the dowel pins, wherever they may or may not be. Right there's a dowel pin. I like to take my punch and tap on the dowel pins to help jar the two halves into two pieces. So, we're going to take our big punch, stick it on the back of the dowel pin. That one came out easily, so we're just gonna go ahead and take it all the way out. And when you're taking the dowel pins out, you can make sure that you got all the case bolts out, because I have seen people forget to take a case bolt out. I'm gonna tell you, this thing will not come apart if you leave one of the bolts in there without breaking something. Don't ask me how I know that. It's a fun fact, but you don't wanna do that. Put her over this way. Same scenario. I believe I seen some wiggling. You see some wiggling?
A little bit.
A little bit of wiggles. Ooh, we got the wiggles, buddy. That's good. See if I can get a hold of the old girl. Sometimes I get a little stuck and you gotta kind of work them around. Come here! Yay me! I did it! It was a success. Somebody lost their head though. We're gonna get it off the bench. Okay, dokey. So, now we can discuss what we have inside of here. It's not good though. That shaft should spin freely of that shaft. So we definitely have a problem, meaning that it does not. But we're going to be removing the interlock plate at the back of the case here, which is these 3 Allen head bolts. I can't talk straight. Is it Monday or Tuesday? It's a Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. That's what's wrong. It's Tuesday. That does not feel right. It's not that one. That's the one. It is a 5mm
On a Tuesday.
on a Tuesday.
If you're watching this on a Tuesday, comment tacos.
So we are going to take the 3 5mm Allen bolts and remove them from the rear of the case. Oh, yeah. These bolts are a little snug. See, you did it. Now I'm over here doing it. We're about to have us a sniffle party. Sniffles. Da, da, da. This bolt didn't come out as smoothly as I expected it to, but I got it. And We can remove the reverse idler bearing. We can remove the reverse idler retaining bolt. Same thing as earlier. Rubber washer. Remove the reverse idler out of position. I like to keep my bearings both on the reverse idler. And now we can remove the cluster shaft and main shaft and input shaft from the case, if it'll push. Woo! Whew. Came out quicker than I thought it was going to. That's okay though. Remove our rear case half. Lay our cluster shaft to the side. And here's where our problem is. This shaft should be free of that shaft, and it is not. So we're gonna take a hammer to it. Not good. Well, we officially have a problem. In order to disassemble this shaft has to be off of here. One of the biggest things that is a misconception in the standard world, or in the transmission world in general, is how a standard transmission operates. So I keep laughing at this input shaft being welded, and that's what created fourth gear only. Some people are going to say, why? So let's discuss that. Power flow in a standard transmission comes in the input shaft, transfers to the cluster shaft, and then is transferred out on the main shaft. So this shaft is spinning, this shaft is still sitting at a stop sign, foot on the clutch. This shaft, or foot off of the clutch, I'm sorry. This shaft is spinning, but this shaft is not, because this shaft is connected to the rear tires. So when you let the clutch out, the power goes through the input shaft, through the cluster shaft, to a gear that is on the main shaft and is transferred out the rear of the transmission. So when this shaft is welded to this shaft, we only have fourth gear. The reason we have only fourth gear is that is what gear position this would be in if the slider was moved forward. Ultimately, this shaft is going to have to be replaced. And odds are, this main shaft is going to have to be replaced as well. What we're going to do is we're going to probably break this input shaft to get it off to see if we can save the cluster shaft. Don't know if we can. Don't know yet. It's going to be a little bit of a fight to get it apart. But that's what we're going to do. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have learned at least something about what goes on inside of a ZF transmission. Hope you guys will watch again sometime soon. We'll be back with another one.